Oh, what's going on, guys? I'm Bear Degidio. We're back with another episode of the Jackson Podcast. I'm sitting here with the greatest co-host of all time with the orange pants. You know, regardless of how fire retardant his pants are and how well of a dressed man he is, and he looks like a cone from the freeway off the 405, Rampage Jackson, it's phenomenal to always have you sitting right next to me.
Man, fuck you.
And he got the new one-of-one watch coming out soon, the JX2. It looks phenomenal on you,
you ain't getting this shit back. I like this one.
All right, good. Thank the Lord. Finally, you'll wear it and stop giving away all your chains on your live stream. And then we got the one and only, a coach of Rampages with over 30 years of history, maybe 40 with how old Rampage is. And
sorry.
Coach, you gonna let him flame like that?
Say his name. You don't.
Juliano Prado.
Yeah.
Coach, don't let him flame me like that, Coach. He'll respect you because he know you'll wrap him up and stuff like that. Like me, his dad made me sign a contract that I can't kick his ass.
I can't get in between your guys' affair, dude.
Fair. No, whoa, maybe the Brazilian's not rubbing off too well, but there's no fair happening here. I'm not sure if the choice of words was correct there, Acai Republic.
Oh, well, I can't get in between.
Rampage would love for someone to get between us. He loves that type of thing. His favorite thing to do on live stream is two guys, one jacuzzi. So
that's
like,
not true. Don't believe that. Don't believe that.
Hey, Coach, you ever seen his?
Learning something about you,
Juliano. You ever seen his live stream on Kick?
Yeah.
He does the thing where he sits there and he feeds grapes to his stylist.
No, don't.
Because when his stylist, his stylist lets his hair
you.
down, and when his stylist lets his hair down, it looks like Rampage is in the jacuzzi with a girl until the camera turns around. 6th degree black belt.
Yes, sir.
Like phenomenal reputation. You know, you coach Rampage. You were his former jiu-jitsu coach. You really helped him with camps. We've talked about a lot of good stories yesterday. We all had lunch yesterday at Forte Kebab over there. Habib's uncle or Habib's cousin. It's something they're related to Habib somehow.
Which Khabib?
On the peninsula.
Khabib's nigga runoff?
No, his name. No, his name. I almost repeated the name. That's not his name.
What's how you say his name?
Habib Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov. It's like say Guadana backwards.
It's hard for us.
It's hard to say his name.
And so we were talking about a lot of good stories. As a 6th degree black belt, you've seen the evolution of jiu-jitsu. I kind of want to dive right into this podcast off the break. You're going to Kazakhstan to compete for what, $1 trillion?
It's $1 million.
It's $1 million
in prizes.
Yes, sir. Okay, now for the audience that doesn't understand what's going on, they know about CGAI. They know this new UFC BJJ. What is this event in Kazakhstan that you could win $1 million? And how many times have you been there? Kind of break it down for everybody.
Well, I have a friendship with many guys from Kazakhstan. We're through jiu-jitsu, through martial arts. My friend Darren is the one who introduced me to the Kazakhstani culture, and they love fighting over there. But it turns out to get a visa to come to America and fight is hard. Not everybody can come here and compete on the IBJJF tournaments. Not everybody can come here and fight on ADCC. If you're Russian, if you're from that part of the world, it's hard to get a visa to come. So the idea, and I have to give props to Mr. Toljan, he's the president of Aiga, is to have a tournament out there that brings people to compete with the local talent, to develop, the jiu-jitsu and grappling on that part of the world. So if they cannot come here to compete with us, to bring us over there to compete with them and elevate the level.
How is it in Kazakhstan? I've never been. I want to go one day.
It's nice. It's a beautiful culture. The hospitality is, it's like Brazil. They take you home and they like you to feed you. They like you to really open their homes to you and share their culture. They're awesome.
I heard they're really nice. My friend married a Kazakhstan woman, and she looks kind of Asian. Are there Asian women over there?
Well, if you think about like China and Genghis Khan, that's a guy who conquered China, and so yeah, they're all Asians. Is that part of the world,
I need to go to Kazakhstan.
Yeah. They're descendants of Genghis Khan. They're nomads.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country.
How's the food there?
Amazing. I just, there's one particularity, the horse meat that they eat over there, that they love it, they crave it. To me, I like it. There's many ways to eat it, but, it's very particular of that place.
So you've had horse meat?
Yeah, I had a few times. Yeah.
What it tastes like? Or you get
Like it's gamey. How do you? It's good. I don't know how to compare to anything. It's horse, the same way that beef is beef, chicken is chicken, pork is pork, horse
do they
is
eat
horse.
in Brazil?
Nah.
Never? No. In Italy, like in northern Italy, they have the cavallo, like the pasta, and they call it's like with red sauce, but it has a unique smell. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
No, tell me about this horse meat. So is it like the horse that they get done riding and then when it's old
Well, there's horses, I don't know, they're cooked in many different ways.
I know, but what kind of do they farm the horses like we do the cows and stuff?
No, that beats me. Probably, right?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know details on that.
But tell me more about this jiu-jitsu. You got your own team?
Yeah. So when I went there the first time, I realized I was like, wait a minute, these guys are good. The potential here is great because if you know, Kazakhstan has a strong culture in fighting. They have great boxing, they have great wrestling, they have great judo. They always, Triple G is from Kazakhstan.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
One of the best boxers of all time.
Of all times, yeah. Great. So now the grappling is coming up over there, And I saw, when I went there first time, I saw it coming and I was like, man, we got to watch out for these guys. They're really good, The only reason is that we don't know about more of them is because they're not coming to compete here. But if you look now, there's a couple guys from Kazakhstan in the UFC already, So.
Have you met Triple G over there in Kazakhstan?
No. I don't think he hangs out over there.
He's just going to show up at a jiu-jitsu tournament?
You don't know.
Yeah, it could be an event. I've been to a few events there.
Yeah, you've been to events.
Yeah. They just had a big boxing match over the weekend over there. So they're promoting boxing over there.
Is Kazakhstan the same place that Henry Cejudo just went and did a grappling contest at? He did like this contest tournament.
I saw him. I
Right?
saw him
Didn't
doing
he?
something. Yeah, he was in Kazakhstan.
Yeah. I'm not aware, no.
Oh yeah. Do you know who Henry? Do you watch UFC and stuff now?
Yeah, I do. I know who Cejudo is, of course. I just didn't know that he was out there.
But you still watch? You still watch? Keep up with it regularly?
It's so much now, right? Remember back in the day, we knew everybody. We knew every show. It was like Pride, and then UFC.
Yeah, it's like
once a month, every other month, right? Yeah. And we knew everybody. Now I don't know all the coaches. I don't know all the, all the events, all the fighters. It's hard to keep up. So you pick, like. I cheer for the Brazilians, of course, because it's in my blood. I can't help it. Yeah. And then I like the jiu-jitsu guys, right? And then there's different guys that you like for their personality or their attitude, their philosophy. I'm a martial arts through and through. So I like guys like Georges St-Pierre that is respectful, that is, a true martial artist. So I follow a few guys.
You still got your studio in Newport? Because you remember we started No Limits and we was training together, but then No Limits is he's the reason why we with Timo Yama we had No Limits. He took No Limits and Timo Yama to the next level. Juliano Prado.
Well, I put the guys together and they opened.
You found Colin Oyama?
Well, this is what happened. I was gonna fight MMA, right? And I need to train Muay Thai. And Fabiano Iha, back on the day, took me to Colin Oyama. And Colin is a great coach, great strategist, right? So I was like, man, this is the place I need to be. And then I met you there. And then, my gym was... remember the little gym that we have?
Yeah, that's why I trained for Kevin Rounderman, yeah.
Dude, we were so broke. I didn't have mats on the wall. We had plywood on the wall so we don't go through the window.
Wait, you didn't have mats on your walls, so in case you guys had to do a little bit of wall work, you wouldn't go through
plywood.
Yeah.
That's where you did your Kevin Randleman camp at.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah,
your Kevin Randleman camp against a guy where you have to practice stuffing a double leg, which you're going to go against the wall. You only had plywood.
Yeah,
unreal.
Not only that, like for many fights, for the Arona fight, we were there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then I got a little bit of money. I would buy this piece of mat and put the walls here, and then the rest is plywood. And then
I trained with him for many fights. And the Kevin Randleman camp, I think that was my best camp of my career.
Really,
I trained really hard for that camp,
dude. You know what is in my mind from those days? Antonio Macchi, man. One day he came in wearing socks, and he was on the middle like a king of the hill with everybody, and nobody could take that guy down wearing socks, dude. That guy,
different level, different level.
Different level.
Big guys.
Wait, you would shoot in on Antonio Macchi? You would try to double leg him, single leg, nothing?
I'm gonna tell you, the only time that I can take Antonio Macchi down is when I mix it up with MMA. Straight wrestling, I can't take him down, and when I mix it up with MMA, like I fake like I'm gonna punch him and stuff, then I can go in and take down. But I think he gives it to me. I think he gives it to me just to boost up my my confidence. I don't think I could ever take him down.
We were all starting back on the day, right? So I had strong jiu-jitsu. Colin, of course, was the coach, Rampage came from wrestling originally, but you're already smart. But Antonio Maki, he was a wrestler, but he's very, very smart. Even when he didn't know jiu-jitsu, he would like have great insights on it. And he's a specimen. He's very smart.
He's very strong too.
Yeah, strong too.
What was the relationship like? Because I know, wasn't Jason Perillo out here too? There wasn't a lot going on out here in Orange County.
Jason Perillo was to start. We were talking about 2006, 2007 here. So it was before Jason. I mean, of course, he was a fighter, but I think before he busted into the MMA scene.
Got it. Yeah. So back then, Rampage, you want to kind of walk me through the climate of Orange County? You had a small gym. You were training out here to be in the UFC or in Pride.
No, I had the gym.
But you had the
and Colin had the gym in Tustin. Mine was in Newport Beach, PCH.
So this was back before you did everything. Wow. You didn't do everything at one gym.
Yeah,
at this
jiu-jitsu was my place, and kickboxing, Muay Thai was a Colin's place. That's how we broke it down.
So even back then, you didn't have a single place.
No,
I get what you're saying.
Because Colin's gym didn't have mats, and his gym didn't have a cage or a ring.
And what year did you end up building your gym that I used to go to watch you at?
That was years later.
After, yeah.
Okay.
So what happened is I put together Colin with an investor, and we moved my gym and his gym together to start No Limits. That's how we started that.
And that was the one in Irvine, Tustin, over there off the freeway?
Yeah.
Is that the one that turned into a sushi restaurant?
No. That was Colin's gym at first.
That was Punch Out.
The Punch Out.
Yeah.
So Colin's one of the first guys to have a gym in Orange County.
MMA
gyms.
Yeah. He started LA Boxing in Newport Beach, and then he has his own place called Punch Out in Tustin.
Yeah, because LA Boxing was where Jason Perillo was with the McCauley brothers and all them.
A different LA Boxing.
I can tell you, Colin is the first place where I went to his gym and I saw like a lot of people that wasn't fighters doing cardio kickboxing and stuff. I saw that besides Tiki's them gym.
Yeah.
Colin was the one of the first people I saw doing that stuff. But I don't think he was first Muay Thai in Orange County, but I'm not sure.
Not the first Muay Thai, but he's a pioneer on his own way, for sure. Yeah. He's a pioneer. So back to Kazakhstan, man. I saw the potential there. I saw how they were, and they love fighting over there. It's in their culture, So I start to have this relationship. They invite me to a tournament in Turkey, and I organized. It was between countries, so I organized the American team and the Brazilian team. It was basically pretty much based on my team, on Brazilian top team fighters, right? And then we participate in Turkey. That was the amateur. Back then, they didn't want to mix with the ADCC, so they did amateur. They did no heel hooks and stuff like that. It then evolved to where they want to become more professional, and they invested a lot of money in it. And then we kept supporting and participating.
Wow. How do you meet those guys in Kazakhstan? That's like far away. How did you get
students at the gym? My dear friend Dowring is a student in my gym, and he started being our connection, and because of him I went there to teach a seminar first. And then I met Tolajan, which is the president of Aiga.
He's the president of the country?
No, president of Aiga. Aiga is this organization out of Almaty in Kazakhstan that promotes this tournament that is going to give $1 million in prize. Next weekend, actually, we'll be there.
So I have to ask you this. Kazakhstan is nothing like what Borak said it was, right?
Oh, come on! Of course not.
Do they hate him? I gotta ask them. Do they hate Borak over there?
Yeah, probably. They never bring it up, but probably, right? I mean, like anything that guy makes is for real. Like you can watch all his movies, and if you think that's reality, you're in trouble, right?
But he was the first person that ever told me anything about Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I think that he thought the name was funny, and he started to talk shit. I don't know.
I bet they hate it.
It's a real place.
I didn't know that. Honestly, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at first. Honestly, I'm not being ignorant.
This is your disciple. This is your old student. Your
come on. I didn't know it was a real place because I know the guy's a comedian. But then when I found out, I was like, wow, this guy must know a little bit about Kazakhstan.
Big modern country. There's there's Almaty, big city, like New York or like anything else. And there's Astana, modern. It looked like Vegas to me. Like all new, all clean and new and beautiful.
You been to all the different cities? You went traveling around?
One time, when I went to the first seminar tour there, I went to like maybe 6 cities in 6 days.
Wow.
It was crazy. Yeah. Visit, we're talking about a few years ago. So we visit every federation, every gym out there. And I taught a few
I want to
seminars.
go with you one time. I want to go to Kazakhstan with you.
Dude, let's go. Let's
You want
go.
to go to Kazakhstan?
Yeah,
Let's get you,
Get him a
get you
fight.
that boxing match out there. I can
yeah.
organize that
You
for
can
you.
organize that?
Yeah, I can organize that for you.
All right.
That
I do
want
want to do a boxing match before I get too old.
Yeah, let's go. We can put it together there for sure. That's for sure.
All right.
You know, and they love boxing over there. You're already a celebrity, but you be even more. You'll remind people of who you really are, and also build your brand on that side of the world. It'll be great. It'll be fun too, because it'll be like old times, like going to Japan to fight Pride. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember. I love it. I tell you what, let's talk. If they'll let me stream the whole process,
There you go.
I you know what I'm saying, I'll come in, we'll negotiate a good, fair price, and let me stream it.
Yeah, that'll be. I'm sure that can be done.
All right, then.
I'm
We
sure
argue.
that can be done.
I wanna hear about being a 6th-degree black belt for the people at home that don't understand the way belts work in jiu-jitsu. How did you become a 6th-degree black belt? What did it take to become a 6th-degree black belt?
Hard work, man. Hard work.
Well,
Well, then you should listen for a second, and you would understand what that means.
Why you go ask him what it does? What do you think it takes? Look at him.
No, duh, but there's 1,000
machine.
million people watching
Look at
this that
him.
want to know
Coach,
how he
Coach,
got it.
Coach, how old are you now? You like 45?
51.
Yeah,
Look at him.
and he looks like that because he eats acai bowls from Acai Republic.
Orale.
Orale. You heard what that means? You know what orale means? Taco Tuesday, man? You know what that means?
Listen, answer the question.
Thank you. Politely, please. Don't interrupt the guest ever again, even though that's your coach. Sorry about him. He's just been excited today.
No, I'm having a great time. You guys are awesome together.
Yeah. He's just having fun because, his stylist moved out, so now he's single again, and it's a good day for him.
Wow.
What was his name again?
Answer the
Pedro.
question.
Pedro.
Wow, Coach. Oh, my God. You got my coach going against me.
Pedro.
Wow.
Hey, don't kick me out when I make fun of you too. I'm Brazilian. You know what I'm saying?
Pedro. Wayne, cut that for me, please. I need that before we get off the pod. Pedro. That's crazy. Can you imagine Rampage cuddling with a guy named Pedro? Oh my
At this
God.
point, I can match both of you guys because we go together. So.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Look at what you started. Shout out to TJ
Brother,
Gosha on
me-
Wild Society's energy drink.
Wow.
All right, talk to me. 6th-degree black belt. How do you get that?
Lifestyle.
Who'd you get the belt from?
Murilo Bustamante is my coach right now, the founder of Brazilian Top Team.
Murillo Bustamante.
Murilo Bustamante, yeah.
Didn't you fight
He
Murillo
fought him,
Bustamante?
yeah. He fought him.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, he's the founder of American Top Team?
Brazilian Top Team.
Brazilian Top Team.
American Top Team, it was by Libolio and Conan and some other guys. Everybody was Carson Gracie team, right? And then Brazilian Top Team. And then they came to America and started the American Top Team.
Carlson Gracie, the same with like Alongos and Vitor Belfort.
Yeah. So those guys were teammates. Alan, Murillo, they were teammates.
How's Murillo doing these days?
He's amazing. He traveled the world. He has gyms, maybe, I don't know if it's 100 and something Brazilian top teams all over the world. He stays in Rio de Janeiro. He has a son, has his gym down there. He does great.
I'll tell him I said hello, man. He was always cool guy, always respectful and everything.
One of the most complete fighters ever. Remember when he had the first UFC belt at 185?
Yeah.
Right? Murilo's the man.
Yeah, that's what UFC got mad at him because he beat Chuck, correct?
No, he beat Matt Lindland
Matt
twice,
Lindland,
made him
that smelly guy.
top twice.
But I thought he
smelly
beat
guy.
Chuck, and that's when he went to Pride. I thought he beat Chuck.
He has a great fight with Chuck, and if you turn the comments out, I think he won, but Chuck won a
he lost.
decision. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. I remember now. You know, my memory. Yeah, everybody thought he beat Chuck, but he got robbed.
Yeah, he
I
got
remember
robbed.
now.
Yeah.
And then he came over to Pride, and that's why I ended up fighting him because Ricardo Arona.
Was hurt, yeah.
Yeah, that's why. That's another different story. We just save it for a different podcast. But that's why I was mad at Ricardo Arona. I don't think he was hurt.
Arona's a great guy, bro. If you hang out with him, you're gonna love him. He's a great man.
2002, he beats Dave Minnie in UFC 35, and then he fought Matt Lindland May 10, 2002 for the belt again. He was defending the belt.
Yeah.
So then he fought him at UFC 37, defended the belt twice. Then he lost to Rampage right after that. So then you fought him after that.
He went to Pride and fought, and then he came back to UFC and fought Chuck after.
He lost to Rampage in Pride.
Yeah, and then he fought Chuck after fighting you.
Oh, okay.
So Rampage, just honestly, because this is actually a cool little history, he fought Chuck Liddell in 2001, September 28th, in the UFC 33. coming from Pancras. So he fought Kakuta in Pancras. Then from there he fought Chuck Liddell, lost. Then he won the belt, defended it, against Linland. Then he fought you, and you beat him by a split decision in Pride at
Great
Pride
fight.
Total Elimination 2003. Amazing fight. And for those of you that don't know about that fight, there's a very famous clip on the internet of you fighting him, and you do that like famous cover and roll, and you come over and you clip him. It's actually an amazing clip. It's on TikTok.
That was a really tough fight because
Yeah.
I trained for Ricardo Arona.
And then
You
he
were very
loses.
smart on that fight. Murillo had him on the guillotine, and instead of going down, he put Murillo on the ropes.
Wayne,
was-
pull up
that
the
was the move.
Bustamante Rampage fight. I want you to walk me through that. Did you train him for that fight?
Yeah, we were training together.
So
for
we-
that.
How did it feel that the guy that gave you your belt, you had to train the guy
No,
fighting you?
I wasn't with Murillo yet back then. I was a Lotus Club, a different jiu-jitsu system.
I remember Lotus.
Yeah, I was with Lotus Club. Fabio Negão.
Yeah, Fabio Negão.
Shout out to my friend Fabio Negão.
Yeah.
And so we were on a different team. I became a Brazilian top team after I left Team Oyama and all that. So that was already behind us by the time I joined them.
And we didn't train for Murillo Bustamante. I didn't find out I was fighting him.
We were training for Arona.
This
We
was
trained
the
for a
8-man tournament in Pride. The first fight was Murillo Bustamante versus Rampage. I didn't want to cut you off. I just want you to be able to narrate this Rampage. And Coach, if you could kind of bring us in on this, when Juliano, you were training him for this
For
fight.
Arona. We trained for Arona.
Wait, we trained for Ricardo Arona. I didn't
And
know
Arona was
fighting him.
hurt. Yeah.
Okay,
he
so
ended
that's
up
what I'm
fighting
asking you.
Murillo.
So you didn't know going into this? Did they switch it
They
because
switched
he was
it.
hurt?
They switched it. I didn't, and they didn't tell me until I got to the hotel in Japan.
Look at this walking, lighting stage setup.
Yeah,
My God, you were a
different
superstar.
show. Different
You guys
times.
were just superstars
Bro,
in Pride.
we were fighting in front of 75, 80,000 people.
80,000 people at a
Yeah.
Pride fight
Yeah.
in the arena. Oh my God, this is prime vintage Rampage. We got to watch this for a second. So you got the camouflage pants on. You're making the face. Who's behind you? Is that
Colin Oyama? Juliano, you never came. That's Big Perm. I wrestled with.
Yeah.
He was my teammates in college, and that was
Big Perm. Yeah.
that was one of my best friends back in the day.
Yeah,
Alex.
I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah,
So you got the Pride gloves on.
yeah.
You got the Rampage tee on.
I got the
always a
Rampage tees.
character.
They Pride used to rip me off on.
They made those.
Yeah, they made those.
Hey, what song was he listening to, Wayne, on the walk-in?
I don't know. I had my own rap. Somebody made me a rap.
Back on the slamming days. What if he
Wow.
does this to you? I'll slam him. What if he goes to your arm? I'll slam him.
I love when the commentator right now says Rampage likes to trick his opponents to think he doesn't take fighting seriously by coming in and being loud and being fun, but he trains extremely hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy that they were saying that. Look
Yeah.
at you howling. Look at you, bro. This is crazy.
I was young. Wow.
Wow, this
It's in
is
my
nuts.
20s.
Well,
Well-
this was in 2003. How old were you? 2003.
Man, we already at 2002, man. Wow.
We're at 2025. This is 25 years ago.
Man.
This
Damn.
is 25 years ago.
I was
This is
in
a
my
quarter of a century.
I was in my 20s.
How old were you right here in 2003? Do you know?
Probably
Wayne,
20
now fast forward it. I want
like
to ask.
I was like 23.
Remember, you used to come to train like with a van full of Vietnamese people drive you there to train.
Why you embarrassing me
Coach,
on the podcast?
Juliano,
Coach?
tell us what you just saw. You show up to practice. Rampage hops out of a white
No,
van
he
with
had-
20
he-
girls from the Vietnamese coffee shop.
No, he's being always a friendly guy to everybody, and he has some guys, some Vietnamese people that would drive him to train.
What were these girls looking like? 10s?
Beautiful people.
Beautiful girls.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
many would he show up with to practice?
Oh man,
At least
it was
4?
a van full.
Hey, you a dog, Rampage. Hey, give me some love. We got to show you love on that one. No, come on.
No,
You-
man, no, you make it funny.
All right. Hey, so you see him right now. You decided to keep the chain on at the center of the ring.
Honestly, truth be told, I was mad at this whole situation because in Pride, the rules were when you got a last minute opponent or your opponent pull out, you get a lesser opponent. But I felt
But
like
Murillo's better.
better at jiu-jitsu,
better
right?
opponent,
Is
yeah.
it? But Arona jiu-jitsu was really good.
No, they equally good fighters, but they were different,
And different
Different.
styles
I
of
think,
jiu-jitsu.
yeah. Different style of when it comes to MMA and jiu-jitsu too, for sure.
Yeah. So I just
Oh, here we go. This is for you, buddy.
oh, thank you, Coach. How you know I really want to. Where's the spoon at? Oh yeah, thank you.
All right. So while we watched this Pride fight, we ordered This is what I was doing on my phone. We ordered Acai Republic, which is Juliano's restaurants. They have about 50 of them all over Southern California.
We have 30, and is not only South California. We have a few in Hawaii, Arizona, and
One
Florida
for Wayne
too.
in the back, our cameraman. Cameraman, that's for you. No, I can't throw
You
this.
can't throw that.
Come on.
I'll throw that
Here.
shit at you. You want me to?
Yeah, hey, you better shut up and not talk to him like
How
that.
the fuck you go talk to me like that, especially in front of my damn coach?
You better
don't-
not-
Man, you don't
Pat,
fuck.
you-
Hey, who the fuck are you? You think you Kevin Holland? You think I'm gonna let somebody else slide with telling me to shut the fuck up?
Okay, first of all, I did it in a friendly way. You don't got to
I don't
turn
give-
up on me,
no,
Kevin
no.
Holland. Second of all, I just ordered you food. So I want an apology.
I'm sorry you look stupid.
And I'm sorry you fat.
Coach, am I fat right now?
Nah, you look good.
You big bone.
Damn. Oh my God, I
Yeah.
was joking, coach. You don't got to get so serious on him. Here,
I'm
one for
joking,
you.
too. Thank you.
So while we watch this Pride fight, we're going to react to one of the greatest Pride fights I've ever watched. And I think if anybody watches this, they could say the same. Rampage Jackson in the camo shorts. This is vintage MMA. Look at who's on the sidelines right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. He hurt
That's
his
a Rona.
knee. He already he did.
Can I tell you a story?
That
A
you
true
met
story.
him on the
First
on
tell
the
the-
store and he was walking normal.
No,
and
let him
that's
say
it.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, say it. Tell,
No,
tell the
you-
audience.
I know. I was there. Remember, we trained together. But
Wait, Rampage. You got to tell the story. Come on.
yeah, go ahead.
What made me mad was I found out that Ricardo Arona was injured. And, later on that day, I walked to the 7-Eleven, which is right down the street from the hotel. He's walking out of the store, like, scrolling. And then Norman, then he see me. He started limping. And he got two.
Oh, he started limping after?
Yeah, he got two Band-Aids. And like 4 Band-Aids. And then X on his knee only. I'm like.
Well,
I felt like he was just trying to get Murillo into Pride. I understand the brotherhood, and it was kind of hard to get his teammate into Pride. So I just felt like that's what he was doing. He was trying to get his teammate into Pride.
well, also you can have an injury that allows you to walk to the store, but you're not able to fight. It's the two big different things.
I understand that.
Wayne, rewind that for a second.
Murillo is still one of my favorite fighters ever. He's a jiu-jitsu guy that is complete. He had good boxing.
This is amazing. Murillo puts Rampage in a triangle choke or an
he
arm
put him on
bar.
a guillotine, and
right after
Rampage
this.
put him on the ropes. It's not here yet, but there's a part where it was genius because Rampage went to the ground to defend. He would tap on the guillotine, so he put him on the rope.
Rampage, what are you doing carrying this guy around the ring?
I walked into my corner. I'm like, well, I'm in his corner. I heard his corner speaking to me in Portuguese. I said, oh, fuck, I'm bringing him to my corner. He holding on me like that.
Dude, this guy is crazy. So you
Bro,
don't know.
you're, the way that you're able to think about that during a fight is crazy.
Yeah, because it was different. But what Coach was talking about, the guillotine,
Yeah.
he had it so close, I was almost about to pass out or tap. And I heard Colin Oyama like, don't give up. Don't give up. So right then and there, I invented a new escape for the guillotine, and I've never been guillotined since then. I put my wrist in on one side, and I pushed and pulled at the same time with my fingers. And that's how I got out of the guillotine. It was this close. I was this close to tapping.
I see you defending the choke right here, and then he puts you in an arm bar, and you pick him up. You almost slam him.
That was his answer for most things.
That's insane.
Yeah. What if he put you on the armbar? I was lemon.
Look, I give him the armbar.
Yeah.
Look, I give it to him.
Yeah,
I had so much faith in that people could armbar
Defense,
me.
yeah.
That's how I passed the guard. But look, I was like, damn, this motherfucker good. He pulling my leg and stuff. But I still had faith that no one could armbar me because I was so strong. So that's how I passed guard. You see how
Not only
my
strong.
God.
Yeah, you defended right, bro.
Oh my!
That jump over, that's technique. It's not
jump
a
over
strength.
sweep is
Yeah,
insane.
Yeah.
Because you
That's
don't sweep him. He
technique.
like jumps over to get side control, but then you lift him up. No one could do that. You have to be so strong to do that. I don't
Yeah.
think the audience realizes how strong you have to be to lift someone up.
People
No,
don't-
also smart. Only strength without technique, you get caught and stuff. He
Great
know
point.
how to move.
Great point, Coach.
Also technical.
Coach,
and
you
smart.
think a lot of people don't give him enough credit? They just think he was all strong with how much technique he actually had to have to pull out those moves?
Rampage is a jokester, so everything in the sense of humor
No,
and
he's
stuff
not a
like that.
jokester.
So it's hard to people don't take him seriously. But you don't know how much this guy trained. And we had a good team supporting him back on the day,
Yeah, but I don't think people knew. I underestimated him because that armbar, he was
Almost got you.
Yeah, it's really tight, right?
Yep.
So that's what I used to do a lot. I used to give people the triangle choke. I give them the armbar so I can pass guard because I can't pass guard against a black belt. I can't pass his guard. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna let him go for something. And I was really good at defending the armbar and triangle choke. But I used to do that in training. I would give people an armbar and triangle choke so I can pass their guard, especially when they was like a higher belt.
Yeah, but that's technique, brother. That's called being smart and a strategist.
Yeah.
You don't just win fight with brute strength. Otherwise, the strongest man on the world will be the best fighter, and you don't come even closer.
And how far after this fight was the fight that you picked up and slammed him?
Rona, it was a little bit. It was a couple. I can't remember.
Yeah, but I mean,
it was a few fights after.
The payback of you kind of got your payback on him because people don't understand the story.
Yeah, because like Coach said, you could be injured and still be able to walk and not be able to fight. But the only reason why I thought that because as soon as he saw me, he started limping. So that's why I thought it was fake. But when cause I'm the type of person I let things add up, and when Arona healed me in the head and dislocated my jaw and I went down, when he told the referee that I was knocked out, that's when it made me lose my temper because the referees hated me in Pride. They used to always give me the yellow card all the time. They hated me.
This guy one time he took some yellow cards to Pride. He took the yellow cards to Japan, to Pride, and the referees give him yellow cards all the time. So he gave the referee a yellow card because he had bad breath. Remember that?
Yeah. And they paid me back by making that my toy.
Really?
That's what my toy. My toy was this.
Yeah, he went like this to the referee and gave him a yellow card.
Look how tight he had that guillotine.
Yeah, that's the one.
He was really good.
And he pulled your pants down.
Yeah, my pants saved me. How you notice that? Why are you looking at my ass?
I've watched this so many times.
Yeah, because my pants
save you. His legs go through the middle and then they stop, and then you're able to use the pants to control him because he has you in a side control rear naked choke, almost like a Darce, but not really because his feet are underneath you.
I think he was the best jiu-jitsu guy I ever fought.
For MMA?
Really?
Yeah. He was the best. It was so hard defending his stuff.
Yeah. And in one attack after another. Yeah, man. And I have a respect for Murilo because I grew up watching him fighting,
I think he could have submitted Sakuraba.
Sakuraba?
Yeah, because Sakuraba was really good.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I think
back in the day.
Murillo would have fought Sakuraba.
Oh, for
he
sure.
would have submitted Sakuraba, for sure.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So how did you end up going from training with your club, the Lotus, to then going to Brazilian top team?
Well, we put together No Limits with Colin Oyama and Quinton. Quinton was actually a partner at the gym, a No Limits gym. Well, in a way.
You were a full partner of the gym, Rampage?
When we opened, right? Yeah.
I never signed a contract.
Okay, but you were a partner at the gym, right? And then he left. We kept with Colin, and then when we separated, No Limits were like maybe 7 years, right? And then when we separate, it's very hard to talk about my team, Lots Club, because I love them, So, but there were some things that I wasn't going with it at the time. And Brazilian top team has been always a team in my heart. I always like them, and I always, when I went to Rio, I used to train with them and stuff. And what happened is Murilo was in the United States looking for a place to teach. And there's no bringing Murilo to teach at my gym without becoming Brazilian top team, So that was the main thing. I still love Lotus Club. I'm friends with them. I used to bring people from Lotus all the time to Rampage. Was really good friends with Fabio Negão and Giva and those guys.
What was the dynamic like? How did a gym back then make money? Because the climate of UFC and MMA was so different. You had Pride, you have UFC, you had Strikeforce. How did the gym actually make money? How did you guys stay in business?
We had cardio kickboxing. That was a big one. I had a good, solid jiu-jitsu program. So we made money on that. And we have like weights and stuff. It was a gym where like a UFC gym. The concept of the UFC gym, They copied from us. Actually, I remember the day when the people from the UFC came and took pictures of everything and No Limits and all.
No way.
Yeah. So same way that a big UFC gym right now, you can imagine No Limits.
And what did a camp look like for a fight like this back in the day?
12 weeks. Antonio Macchi wearing socks on the middle of the mat, taking everybody down.
Why is this so legendary that everybody always talks about Antonio Macchi would wear socks and stay in the middle of the mat?
Because, dude, if you wear socks, wrestling.
No, I know.
It's like a couple of times I look at him, I'm like, this guy's tired. I'm gonna take this fucker down now, and that was no way, dude. That was no way. His technique, his everything.
Was he a fighter or an official coach?
He was both.
He
No,
was
I meant
both,
at the time in the gym.
Yeah.
Well, in our interaction, it was supposed to be my gym, my jiu-jitsu gym, and Colin's Muay Thai gym, and Maki came in to train. But he's so knowledgeable. A lot of times he run the practice. He run the wrestling part of it. When it comes to wrestling, he was super, super knowledgeable. Lefty-handed, good boxer. I mean, so
Rampage, what was this fight going through your head right
I
here?
never really watched this fight. Murillo's stand-up was good.
he got great boxing.
Yeah.
What do you mean you never watched this fight? This is 25 years old.
I never watched my fights.
Really?
I don't really watch my fights. This is entertaining. I brought out a lot of leg kicks. I don't know why it took me so long to keep going back to it, but I remember I threw one leg kick. I should have kept going, but I remember I was hurting his legs later on in the fight. But look at him. His stand-up is good.
He's long and lanky,
Yeah. How did I win this by decision? Yeah, I think I fucked up his leg. Yeah, okay. I started fucking up his legs.
Yeah, he had an edge. He had an edge on that fight. And a lot of times when you keep trying for submission, they don't give you, the credit back on the day. Give you more credit for striking and dominance, really.
Yeah.
See, pulling guard, stuff like that, then you're on top.
That was smart, though, because I was going to knee his fucking head off.
Yeah.
So it's smart when you don't get the takedown, you pull guard. Other people were stupid. They would keep trying to go for the takedown, but Murillo didn't play that game.
Yeah.
If he missed a takedown, he pulled guard.
And effective guard, right?
Yeah.
A dangerous guard.
Yeah.
I know, man.
Yeah. It was a good fight. I should have watched this fight later. But it's like, what was cool about this, because, I never studied my opponent, so I didn't care. I didn't care that, I figured him out during the fight. I didn't care. I just didn't like the way, I felt like Pride knew
That he was going to be, yeah. I don't know what happened back on the day. I wasn't involved with them yet.
Yeah.
But the Japanese, how the Japanese did people back in the day. Remember your first fight? They made you cut 50 pounds to fight
27
Sakuraba.
pounds in 3 hours.
There you go.
Yeah, they always screwed me. Hey, bro, that was the best.
I guess you like acai, huh?
Bro, that was the best acai bowl I ever had.
Thank you.
I'm not kidding you. This thing's incredible.
No.
Talk to me about Acai Republic. How did you get into this business?
Well, by being Brazilian, acai is a thing that I grew up eating, right? And we used to bring it from Brazil on our bags, me and my partner. Shout out to Adriano Nazal, my partner. He's really the head behind Acai Republic. He's our CEO. But we used to bring acai from Brazil on a bag, like 30 pounds frozen to cook, to make at home. And back on the day, you couldn't really find good acai, People would make acai like blended with apple juice. I was like, dude, there's no apples in the Amazon. You don't mix acai with apple juice, So then one day we're hanging out. We're like, hey, man, what if we open our own? But we don't have no money. Well, we'll figure out.
What is acai?
Acai is a berry. Acai is not a berry. Is a cousin of a coconut. Is on a
Wait.
coconut tree.
It's a cousin of a coconut.
Well, it's not a coconut, but it's related to the coconut plant. Yeah,
that's funny.
So it's in a palm tree, look like a coconut tree, and the fruit is, the pulp is outside, and the center is the seed. And only in Brazil, only in the Amazon.
That's
it's
the
a
only
superfood. Yeah.
And what is it good for? I was going to ask you, what is it good? Does it make your dick hard?
Super hard.
Give me another bowl.
Imagine if it grew your dick too. Well, we're selling.
Oh man, yeah, you'd be billionaires. Bear be
How many of these I eat before I die?
Bear be your number one customer. He'd be having 10 a day.
Everybody could use an extra inch every once in a while.
I'm happy with what I got.
I'm all right.
I'm all right.
How about you?
But what does it help you with? The superfood. What does it help you with?
Well, vitamins and stuff like that. It has omega-3. Have a lot of good fat in it. It has a small percentage of protein, a lot of iron.
I need all that.
Yeah, a lot of iron, a lot of fat acids, a lot of antioxidants. So when you harvest acai, it oxidates really fast. Like if you cut an apple and you leave it out and it gets brown, acai oxidates really fast. So when you harvest, you have to freeze it. So since it's harvested in the Amazon all the way to this, you keep frozen. Even when we process with other things, is a machine that processes frozen foods. Like if you want to blend with a banana, stuff like that. And we import from Brazil, and it comes from there.
I didn't even know that you was. I've seen that store. I didn't even know that you was behind it. How did you grow so fast?
Well, it took 13 years to be an overnight success. We've been doing this for a long time. You and I, we don't really sit to talk in maybe 10, 15 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But, jiu-jitsu is closely related to acai, the culture, the Brazilian culture that comes with jiu-jitsu, to eat the certain foods and to, So, and I saw the opportunity. We saw the opportunity. Nobody was doing right. That's the main thing. Nobody was doing right. And we're like, well, we can do this right. And, bring the recipes from our childhood.
Are you going to do some Acai Republic in Kazakhstan?
We already have a partnership with the Kazakhstan. And let me tell you, when we got involved with the fighting after the first season in Turkey, when they invite us back to fight for money and for this whole Aiga professional league, I could bring Brazilian top team as a team. I could bring my own gym, Total MMA Studios. Shout out to my students. It could be a Total MMA team. It could be a Brazilian top team. But I saw the opportunity to promote my brand. I already had Acai, so I did Acai Republic fight team. And that also, it helps you because, if you're from Checkmate or if you're from Lotus Club, those guys don't mix too much. But under a professional, team that represents a brand instead of a gym, that was the idea, to put it together,
Who are you bringing to Kazakhstan? Who's your team? And also explain to me, is it 7 versus 7?
7 versus 7, yes, 7 versus 7.
Who do you got on your squad?
Man, we have the squad this year. We have the fucking team. We got 60 kilos is Talisson, super champion, lightweight world champion many times. 65 kilos is Baby Shark, one of the best in the world, Diogo Reis. 70 kilos is Kennedy Maciel. He's a great fighter on his own right, and there's his dad, Cobrinha, who's, his mentor. 77 kilos, we have Jonathan Gracie, great fighter. 83, we have Mika Galvão. In my opinion, the most talented grappler.
His name Mika Galvão?
Mika Galvão.
My Mika.
Mika.
His
name is Mikael, so short for Mika. We got him on the team. He's a Acai Republic sponsor athlete. All these guys on the team are Acai Republic sponsor athlete or good relationships that we have.
Yeah.
91 kilos is Lucas Hook. We also have Felipe Andrew on the 91 kilos. And then Yatan Bueno is our heavyweight. So the greatest lineup, and we're going after this $1 million. Actually, it's $500 first place, $300 second place, and $200 third place. And, there's great American teams that we concern about them. Like Acai team is a great team out there. There's also another team called Williams team. But the Dagestanians, man, got a team, and they're good at grappling, good jiu-jitsu. I'll be butchering their names if I try to say here. But
come on, it's right. I'm guilty of that.
I don't even register,
Hey, wow! Look at that jab to straight right to the right kick.
Bro,
I didn't see you throw kicks ever.
I know people think I don't know how to throw kicks, and I remember.
Juliano, when did he learn to throw kicks like this during camp?
I'm calling Oyama.
Dude, yeah, as I'll call him. Rampage, when he left the camp of Colin Oyama, this is a constructive criticism here. He went more towards boxing. He left his kicks behind. He used to kick the shit out of everybody, really. I don't know if you remember, but you dislocated my elbow one time. I was holding pads for you. You kicked through the pads, dislocated my elbow.
I didn't know. I don't remember that.
I wasn't a bitch to be complaining either, but
yeah, I used to kick a lot.
Yeah,
I love Muay Thai. Muay Thai was my first love.
But you kind of stopped, right, at one point of your career when you got Juanito, and you went more to box and stuff. You also stopped slamming people.
Yeah, because I fell in love with knocking people out. But when I started training with Juanito, he fucked up my jab because he's left-handed. So he held the pad different. When I used to train with Colin, I remember I used to spar and stuff like that. I used to drop people with my jab because I was born left-handed. So I have power, and that's why I have knockout power in both my hands. And I used to drop people with my jab. That's why I wear my watch on my right hand. People make fun of me because it feels weird to wear a watch on my left hand because my dad changed me when I was
Force you to be righty.
Yeah, and in black culture, sometimes we do that. I don't know why, and I did it with D'Angelo. D'Angelo was born left-handed, and I got 3 kids that was left-handed, and 2 of my brothers are left-handed. It just runs in my family. It's just fucking
My
crazy.
daughter's lefty.
Wow.
My daughter's lefty too.
Man. And she just graduated.
No, she's in high school right now. She's going to Mother Day and she's doing wrestling over there.
Oh, she likes it.
No, she doesn't, but she's forced to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got a few more things. I want to know about the time of Rampage training in the gym and what the relationship was, because a lot of people, like you said, they don't see the side of Rampage back in the day during these Pride fights. Total Elimination 2003. A year later, he had 3 other fights in Pride, and we'll put that on. But what was his mentality like going in and out of there? Because we've heard the days of Rampage being in the gym 3 times a day, and we've heard the days of Rampage running around the block in Orange County, because he kind of started the MMA culture in Orange County with Tito, and there's very few people out here, but they brought belts back to OC. So like they really have this like nostalgic OC fight culture in them. Like they are like the pioneers of OC fighting. Talk to me about the training days. What was it like in the gym with him?
Well, I saw Rampage a little different because being Brazilian and he's a funny guy. We got along from the beginning, but I saw the seriousness. He was on a mission, right? Back then you were on a mission, and you were surrounded by the right people too. Hard workers showed up, trained with everybody, and with some brilliance, right? Some great, brilliant insights that facilitated for him, and a lot of hard work. I remember the runnings on Saturday, every Saturday running, sprints, and all that.
That sucked, bro.
Right there. And then D'Angelo came around, so things got serious. You were a serious man on a mission, really. That's how I see you back then.
Yeah, he knows my oldest son. A lot of people don't know him now because he moved away when he turned 17. He wanted to go back and live with his grandmama.
The one I met on Christmas?
You met him, huh? Yeah. You
Nicest
met
kid.
Yeah. I had him. I became a single parent when he was 3 years old.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
I got him when he was 3.
He's what is the term?
He's albino.
Yeah. He's a nice kid. Really nice kid.
Yeah.
So over this weekend, we're going with the team to Kazakhstan, to Almaty to fight. And we are going as a different concept that I came up with, the idea of having a professional fighting team. Like most of the teams are like 10 Planet. That's his gym, or Checkmate, that's his gym. Ours is Acai Republic. It's not a gym, it's a brand. It's like if Jackson start a professional team from here, and there. And the idea is to bring more opportunities to the fighters, and bring more professionalism to jiu-jitsu. If you look at right now, like the other day, the sheikh from Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia was talking to Trump and say, we export jiu-jitsu to the world. And that's good for them. They really did a lot of things for jiu-jitsu, and they take all over the world with their federation. But jiu-jitsu is Brazilian, right? You can't deny that came from Brazil, that it was invented by Brazilians. But, and the Brazilians, we did take this all over the world. We did spread, and it's an opportunity for many people to beat poverty, to overcome their circumstances, because at the end of the day, Brazil is a third world country, But since I was able to come here and live my American dream and reach my success, start my company and do my things, when I start the Acai Republic fight team, I put 2 and 2 together. It's a great, there's no better advertising to my brand than is to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, having this team together promotes more than if I invested millions on advertising on Insta. Like, it really gets the message out there, right? So, and also to bring opportunity to professionalize the sport. and it's a wave that I catch back then, and now the UFC not following me because I'm nobody, but UFC is going on that direction, and there's other promotion, other stuff going on that direction. But the way I feel is that as a Brazilian, I have almost the obligation of doing something with the resources, with the position that I am right now. So the Acai Republic fight team is my vision to how it should be, because even as an MMA fighter, it's hard to make a living. I mean, if you entrance level in the UFC, you make nothing, right? You don't make enough for your camp.
Yeah.
Imagine as a grappler, you need to open a gym. You need how do you make your money, right? So the Acai Republic fight team is my vision on how it should be, And with that, I mean, if any Brazilians are listening to this right now, there's so much opportunity on this, and we need to take pride on ours, what is ours. And of course, we shared with the world, but on a way to take responsibility to take the next step, I envision more teams like that. Imagine if, Mercedes have a team, Toyota have a team, or Jackson have a professional team, and, the opportunities that is going to create for these people that love jiu-jitsu, and don't want to be a coach, you want to be a fighter, you want to, train and compete.
Do you think that jiu-jitsu is going to be in the Olympics? Is it already in the Olympics yet?
It's politics. We already went there a couple of times. Remember when I used to work with USA Wrestling? I was a coach at USA Wrestling for grappling.
Yeah.
So the Olympics, for what I understand, is controlled by the fighting part is FILA, which is Greco-Roman and and freestyle, and it's out of Switzerland. They run out of there, and to get to the Olympics, you gotta go through them. So they try to invent this thing called grappling or whatever to put jiu-jitsu in the Olympics. But again, jiu-jitsu is Brazilian. It's from the Brazilians, and there's a mafia in the Olympics. There's this type of a power struggle. We don't. The Brazilians don't want to go through judo or through wrestling. You have to be its own thing. You have to be jiu-jitsu, its own federation, and it's not easy. It's complicated. It's politics.
Yeah, that part right there sucks. But judo is in the Olympics. And do you think that a good Brazilian that does jiu-jitsu can go to judo and win in judo? Because it's almost the same.
Back then, nowadays, all the good judo guys train jiu-jitsu too. And the rule is in judo, if you go to the ground, you got 20 seconds.
Oh, you only got 20 seconds?
20 seconds. You either go to the ground with the position that you're already working on it, they let you go. But if you stop, you got 20 seconds. Also, if you hold somebody on side control, for example, for 20 seconds, that's a nippon. Fight's over. Right. So it's little different dynamics because of the rules on the ground.
Yeah, man, they need to stop the politics. I think a lot more people would tune into the Olympics if they had jiu-jitsu in there.
Of course, yeah. I'll be watching.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of other random things in the Olympics.
Yeah, but look, we got to get it together and support events like this Aiga one because, it gives opportunity to people. It is one of the highest, maybe the highest stage for grapplers all over the world. It's not the Olympics, but, it has the same repercussion if that's what you do for a living.
When is this event?
Next weekend. It's June 28, 29.
What can we watch it at?
YouTube. It's going to free on YouTube. It's going to be free on YouTube.
What's the channel?
Aiga, Aiga channel on YouTube is going to be live and it's going to be free.
Can we promote this before?
Yeah, 100%. We can stream it here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the link, but there's no link. I was texting Wayne trying to find
Can we put clips out and stuff so they can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we'll put the link in the bio. Also, I pulled up the fight history that we were talking about because it went Igor, Kevin, Mikolai, Lokine, Akine.
I think that was Fedor's teammate.
And then Marulo Bustamante. That was your 2002 to 2003 run. But you said that you were there for the Kevin Randleman training camp. Were you there for the Igor Volchanshin camp?
Yes, I was there for that too. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's like one of your craziest runs. And then you went straight into the title fight against Vanderlei, lost, then beat Chuck, beat Manawa, beat Arona, and then lost again to Vanderlei.
You know what's funny? Like the fights on Pride, they were not live.
What? No, I'm being serious. That's the run.
Why you bringing my fucking losses in front of my coach?
I want to know I want to know which one of those he was at because you have a crazy Pride run that no one. I mean,
Pride. I was on all of them. I was a camp for all of them.
2001 to 2005. You fought like 15 Pride tournaments, 2 Grand Prix, 3-4 Grand Prix, 4 5 like 5 Grand Prix. Like
I was young. I used to fight 6 times a year.
Yeah.
Remember?
And you know what's funny? There was no live transmission. You couldn't watch on YouTube. There was no pay-per-view. So he would go to Japan and they were like, oh shit, what happens? Did he win? Did he not win?
Yeah.
You waiting for some VCR or whatever to watch the fights.
Because it'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning over here or something when I would fight or something.
And you know what's interesting about different parts of the world? Here in America, we only look down to our own belly button. You know, we're not aware of what's going on. When we went to Aiga last time, again, the hardest team to compete was the Dagestanians. I was worried about them. I kept an eye on them from the first time that I went over there. Because I was like, man, these guys are good. Oh, there you go. There's Aiga.
Now, this organization is based out of Kazakhstan, though?
No, yes.
Yes, okay.
Out of Almaty.
Okay, but Kazakhstan's organization, this is like the IBJF of Kazakhstan.
Oh, yeah. But even bigger because they put money, you know, and their government supported. And again, shout out to Toligan. He's the head behind.
Oh yeah,
Aiga.
I saw one of their events. I saw the production, bro. It's
amazing.
It's amazing. It's like the UFC of jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm talking about? The production and how the arena looks, how the lights and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, they doing it right. You can tell they really serious about it and they put a lot of money and thought.
Yeah. And when I went there for the first time in Turkey, I was like, I observed and I saw what the guys were doing. And I was like, man, this is going to get serious. So when I come back, I had this whole strategy on how to compete against them, you know?
Look at that production, Bear.
Yeah, it reminds me of Pride.
Yeah, it's big.
It's good that they do it like this, though, because this is what legitimizes the match. It legitimizes the tournament.
Yeah, for
Have
sure.
you seen the Super Cup that Leo Vieira did? We did it at the Hangar last year in November.
Yeah.
It was called the Super Cup. It was an amazing tournament. We did it at the Hangar at the OC Fairgrounds with big matches, bleachers, all the stadium lighting.
Yeah, I was there. I went to watch.
Yeah, this year we're going to try to make it even bigger.
Look at that.
But it's a good way for us to try to bring this type of, notoriety to the local scene of jiu-jitsu.
How you think I do against one of those Dagestani
Smash
niggas?
any of these dudes.
Man, you slam a few.
Bro, you would
You can slam it. You can slam it.
Yeah, you can slam.
Can you tell the audience how good this guy's ground game is? Because they all think he's just funny guy. But if he trained, he would smash all these dudes.
Man, if you kept training, for sure you'd be a black belt back on the diesel, you know?
Yeah.
But
he is a black belt. You're a black belt, right?
No, I'm a black guy. It's a difference.
You're telling me you're not a black belt.
I'm a blue belt.
No, you're not.
I'm a blue belt on a
You're a
Fabiano
sandbagger. Stop saying that.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. You're
it just never
around.
got to be promoted.
I never
Can you
tested.
promote him?
I got to train and test.
Who can promote him? Fabiano
Well, technically, I could.
Without cutting you off, in the world of jiu-jitsu, like the lineage, who is he under?
Fabiano Iha, right?
Fabiano Iha, that's where you start. Then
Yeah,
you kind of under me in Lotus Club for a while, Jiva.
You
and
was,
those guys,
You was my last jiu-jitsu master.
Yeah.
I got my blue belt from Alon Goes, but then I
Great guy.
Great
Shout out to Alan Guys, my homie, man.
Hey, monster.
Most.
Hey, he trained me every morning, and then he would come in here, and then now I train with Bernardo, Leo Vera, Jansen. Nicky Rod smashed me, so I don't consider that training. He's just too big for me. But when did Rampage get his blue belt? You gave it to him?
No,
It wasn't me. No, it was Fabiano. Yeah.
I only tested one time, and I tested for a blue belt, and then
How did he test you?
just like everybody, it was everybody. It was one test day.
Can you imagine going to get promoted and Rampages in your class?
I had to do it with
But
a
it's
gi.
not fighting. Like, how many arm bars you know? Do you know the defense? Do you know this technique? Do
Yeah,
you know
but
that
can you
technique?
imagine him being a white belt? It's crazy.
I remember.
Everybody starts off as a white belt.
Yeah.
I did it. I think if I can remember, I had to test in a gi.
that.
Make
Back
the
in
key
those
that
days.
fits you. Not like that. I just meant like
Why am I
not
catching
like
strays
that.
right now?
Not like that. I just
What?
meant like you had to get a custom gi.
No,
They
Gio
always
on
kinda
his
short.
size.
They
Yeah.
have big. They have gi.
No, you don't fit in any of the gis here.
I don't try on none of the fucking gis here, man. Quit trying to embarrass me in front of my coach.
I'm not embarrassing you. I'm just, the coach knows what happens. We can't even find a belt that fits around you. You know how you have to wrap it twice? Right? No, coach, because when we wrap it looks like it's twice. There's nothing left. So we had to get two timed together like a Balboa, not like a boat. And then he has like two big white belts that wrap around.
He a piece of shit. Hey, but you know what, though? His jiu-jitsu sucked, though. He's still a white belt. He sucked.
Well, back on testing Rampage, when you come from wrestling, and people don't know, this guy went all the way to the final for nationals for wrestling, and they did you wrong on the final, right?
Yeah,
They fucking robbed you.
And the state,
Pull up Rampage in wrestling.
State. Yeah, they did you
that
wrong.
was my first year.
So when you come in from wrestling and you're that good, you're not a beginner in jiu-jitsu. You know some grappling, you're better than somebody who never trained and come in from the beginning. And that's what happened on that part of the world, Russia, Kazakhstan, Dagestan. They already wrestlers, so they learn jiu-jitsu. They become very, it's a different style of jiu-jitsu. It's a different approach of jiu-jitsu.
That makes sense. That's why those Afghanistan niggas, like, they running shit in the UFC.
Well, bro, they also have incredible work ethic. Look at Armin Tursin. He's in here 3 times.
He's not Afghanistan.
Well, he's Armenian, Georgian, Russian, and he
That
trains
part
with
of the
a lot of
world,
the
brother.
Dagestan. That part of the region of the world, their work ethic is so... Look at Hamzat Chimaev. Their work ethic is so crazy. All these guys do is blood, sweat, tear, work, fighting.
You really think Slut is that good, though?
Hamzat Chimaev is the most lethal fighter in the world right now, pound for pound, #1 fighter in the world.
I didn't know that.
Without a doubt. If John Jones comes back, Hamzat's #2. John Jones is officially retired, right?
Well, Slut, he's not a...
His name's Hamzat Chimaev. You're going to respect his name.
That's what I said. He's not a heavyweight. Why that guy do anything
He says
with
like
John
pound for pound.
Oh.
Thank you for listening and understanding me, because some people can't listen and understand at the same time. I'm sorry, Kickstream went live, and now you want to embarrass me in front of 12,000 people.
Oh, I embarrass you.
How many people are watching this?
12,000
No,
people.
no.
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys.
No, it's not 12. I guarantee it's not 12. We live right there.
It's
Coach.
probably more.
We live
Hey,
over
the
there.
name of his Kickstream right now is called a Taco Tuesday Party, pool party, with my stylist Stratos and my best friend Rez.
What the fuck
Why
is
would
that?
you name that your pool party link?
Yeah, I'm having a Taco Tuesday pool party. I hope people show up. If any of you, my friends in real life, text me. You guys invited to my Taco Tuesday pool party, because I don't. I'd be surprised if 5 people show up.
Yeah. Haha.
Yeah, yeah.
You really gonna embarrass me? Mighty Mouse asked me what we're doing right now. Mighty Mouse is. Hey, you think Mighty Mouse would be able to beat Rampage in a jiu-jitsu match?
That guy's complicated. I don't know, but Rampage is Rampage. He's way smaller,
I would
But that
toss
guy's
Mighty Mouse
complicated.
around. I'd toss Mighty Mouse little ass around.
You
There you go.
really think that?
That's why you have weight divisions,
Right.
I
He's quick, he's fast, but
I would put $500,000 Mighty Mouse wins.
He
Mighty
did-
Mouse, $500,000 says you beat Rampage in a jiu-jitsu
this
match.
guy likes to start shit.
I saw his last jiu-jitsu training. I don't want him swinging around like I'm I'll pass.
He said he'll pass because Rampage doesn't know the art of jiu-jitsu. hey, if I put up $500K, will you beat him for me?
I'll do my best to try to.
Thank you. You're done. All right, we'll hit you back. We appreciate you. Bye.
all right.
He said,
Hey.
"Oh," when he got off the phone.
Bro, 500K, people will fight you wearing a bikini, bro.
Rampage
I let them
love
in.
to see a jiu-jitsu guy in a bikini fighting him. Listen, this is
What about
Rampage.
Speedos?
That is
Can we do Speedos?
What- In Speedos, your coach. What is this technique? What is that
I was
technique,
training
coach?
Merry around
Yeah,
technique.
I was training there with Gazi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
guy, too. Shout out to Paulo Gazzi, man. He's a great jiu-jitsu
Yeah,
guy.
he's good. He's a good guy.
So is that where you went last time?
I went last time. That's the first gym I trained at when I moved here.
Well, it used to be Fabiano's gym, and now,
then Tiki's gym.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, before I let you go, Juliano, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on. Second of all, what an amazing thing that you're able to build a beautiful business, Acai Republic, doing the things that you love, jiu-jitsu. I kind of take inspiration from that as well. We're trying to build Jackson and the Jackson Media House with our team. That's why we have fighters and athletes and celebrities and skaters and, all the moto guys and surf guys, because I think it's one of the coolest things. You're able to build something you love, build a business, but at the same time support all the people that you love and the sport you love, jiu-jitsu. So shout out to
Thank you so
Acai
much.
Republic.
Yeah.
If they want to find an Acai Republic, where do they go?
Well, you can download the app on Apple Store, and it has a location on all of our stores.
So
yeah.
on this episode, we'll put the link in the bio. Make sure you guys go support a business that cares about martial arts, cares about the fighters and the athletes. This guy's taking money and time to fly these guys halfway around the world to compete to win $1 million. Giving people a shot.
I want to call all my jiu-jitsu guys out there, all the grapplers, to support this event and to watch, to make it big, because it gives an opportunity to guys who really live out of this and live with passion, and to follow their dreams too.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Jiu-jitsu is growing so fast. It's
been growing, and now it's going to be another boom.
It's been growing. And then the first time I heard of a jiu-jitsu guy making $1 million was Nicky Rod. And then now you guys, doing it, where the jiu-jitsu guys can actually make a good living.
Yeah.
How often are you guys going to have these tournaments?
So last year we were there competing. So once a year or once every 2 years, it depends. But once a year. But they do all the they do all the qualifiers. I helped organize the qualifier in Brazil. There was a qualifier, all major continents. That there are to qualify 8 teams to go fight this weekend. So they have a world tour to qualify the teams, and then a final.
But the big event is always in Kazakhstan?
Yes, in Almaty.
Do Americans need a visa to go there?
No, we don't need a visa to go there. We don't.
Okay.
And then also, too, we definitely want to bring you back out here when we do a big catering for Acai Republic at our Santo Studio running division. Yeah. Every Monday at 6 p.m. in front of the Santo Performance Studio here in Newport Beach.
I'm a fan, man. You guys are funny together. This is a great environment. You guys are doing the right things, talking to the right people. You guys are promoting the right things. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. I never I guess I don't take my story so interesting to me, so I never think of this type of a media or being something like that. So this is great. I'm really happy.
Not to glaze him, but I got to tell you something. You have a pupil, a disciple, whatever you call it, a chubby alumni or whatever term they use in Brazil. But you have someone who does nothing but put respect on your name, respect on his coaches. Rampage is the epitome of loyalty. This guy will cancel anything to make sure an old coach, an old friend, anybody comes in here and is good, is taken care of, is getting the limelight they deserve. All honesty and joking aside, I've learned a lot from him this year. And one of the biggest things I've learned is don't matter where someone is at in life, doesn't matter what they've done. If they were there for you when you needed them, you always got to be there for them. And he's shown that this year because he could interview anybody. Usman, Bilal, Paddy Pimblett, Anthony Smith, Kevin Holland, you name it, all his favorite people. But what really matters the most to him is giving a platform to the people that helped him come up in the game and letting them talk about their business, their brand. And I think we can all learn something from that. And that takes a true man and someone who is comfortable in their skin and happy where they're at in life. So Rampage, salute to you to always being a good friend and a good person.
Buddy.
Cheers,
Yeah.
And with that being said, we're out. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Wish Rampage good luck. He just started P90X, so he's going to be streaming He's going to be streaming a lot of weight loss content. We're excited to see him lean
Come
and
to
mean.
do my 6-week challenge at the gym, bro.
6-week challenge with Acai.
Yeah, I should come by your gym again one day and roll around.
man.
Thanks for
That'll be
watching.
an honor.
Jackson Podcast.
Yeah,
Juliano, Rampage, I'm Bear. We're out.
Let's congratulate Bear. He got a role on the Duck Dynasty. He's going out. He was trying to get into a reality show.
Rampage dressed up early for Halloween. He's an acorn. You know what I mean?